we have a great guest, and I hope all of you like his views. He has published 6 books, and I'm going to share you all his books. And it deals with dharma, politics, and I think politics is an integral part of dharma, like all of you know. And all of you have read my second book, The Making of a Statesman by Narad Muni. And that book details out 115 instructions to Yudhishthir. And this gentleman has also published amazing books, and we'll discuss one of his books today. And maybe in future we'll discuss more. He's a television anchor, and I'm not a television anchor. He's a media personality. His wife is a media personality. He's a writer. He's an author, and he's a follower of Vivekananda. So all of you, most of you who know about spirituality, you remember Chicago address of Swami Vivekananda. And so as an American Hindu, you have come from all over the places. You're some of you are born here, some of you have come from Jamaica, Fiji, you have come to Australia, have come from Australia, some South America, Europe, and some of you are indigenous and you have accepted dharmic philosophy. This guest of ours is going to enlighten a little bit more on what he says, and if he agrees and you all like his videos, he's going to come again and again to our shows. So with that, I'd like to introduce you Dr. Praveen Tiwari. And namaskar and welcome to Sattology. And he has a PhD in mass communication, and from a university in Indore. Indore is a town in central India known for education. Am I right?
Yes, of course. It's Devi Ahilya Vishwavidyalaya, which is one of the finest universities in India. And Indore is all about, food. And now it's the #1 city, which is recognized as the cleanest city in India. So this is another. And now, as far as Corona pandemic is concerned, so we got more and more people from Tablighi Jamaat, and now Indore is the place which is you know highly at risk due to these people, and now we are fighting with it. As for Indore, as you quoted Indore, and these days I'm really concerned about Indore.
No, I think people, Americans, I think our students may not know where Indore is. So if you go to your Google map in the central India, Indore, if you can search over there, and then you'll see Indore. And it's one of the cities where it's known for education, right? Am I right?
Yes, of course. Known for food, known for namkeen, known for beautiful places, historical places, and of course, as you said, IIT, IIM. I don't know your students would understand it, but these are the finest institutes in India. So Indore has all of these. I mean, IIT, IIM, and one of the best universities, that is Devi Ahilya Vishwavidyalaya. So I got the opportunity to study there my mass communication. Then I did my PhD in mass communication, which is registered in World Book of Records also as the first ever PhD on political art in world.
I think a lot more to talk and a lot of inspiration for our students and people who are watching this show. I would like to ask you, like in my last interview also, not interview, discussions we have, in which I asked the other gentleman that America, USA exports democracy. And it's going totally off the topic from your book. But since you are a master's in so many fields, and I think you can surely enlighten us, India has the biggest wealth of dharma, which involves military, politics, economics, and spirituality. So dharma encompasses everything. Why doesn't India export dharma?
I mean, if you allow me to speak this particular sentence in Hindi, because this is something which is quoted by Vivekananda, and you just quoted Vivekananda, and He is my idol. I did a series on DD National, which is the national news, national channel of India, Awakening India, with the title Awakening India. It was really a great learning for me because I got an opportunity to meet so many people who studied Vivekananda and lived Vivekananda like anything. So, in one of his quote is there. Uh, I guess you will be in a better position to translate it for your students later on. That हमें धर्म मत सिखाओ, हमारे पास धर्म का वो आधार है जो दुनिया में किसी के पास नहीं है। हम दुनिया को धर्म दे सकते हैं, as you said before. हम दुनिया we can give religion to world because what we have is religion. और रिलीजन का जो आधार है उस पर विवेकानंद आगे कहते हैं, हमें काम चाहिए, हमें रोटी चाहिए, हमें शिक्षा चाहिए, बिकॉज दीज आर द थिंग, फूड, security for the resident of India, education, these are the, and the medicine and other things, these are the things. We were deprived of these things for 700 years. We have been tortured by invaders for last 700, not just 200 or 250 years history of British, but before that you have to go little back to Mughals, and then Tughlaq, and every you know the whole history of invaders in India, and of course Islamic invaders in India. So we have been deprived of so many things for last 700 years. What India exactly is, it was 700 years back. India is not uh, uh, what you are seeing it right now, or what we are understanding through our scriptures, which is the remains of our scriptures. These are not the exact scriptures available here. We have some Upanishad, thanks to Shankaracharya, who tried to revive these scriptures. Upanishad, thanks we are very thankful to him. He revived it, and then Vivekananda did the second phase of it. But still, so many things are remaining. What world can take from us, what world can learn from us is all religion. But for that, we have to understand it in a better way. How exactly it was 700 years before Mughal came to India, and how the conspiracy went on, and we got a very fake history of India, fake history of. We talk about Mughals, we talk about Basha, we talk about British, we talk about Azadi ki ladai. We're not talking about India. Where is India? This is all Gulami ka period, slavery time. No, this is not India. India is Vedic India. India is Upanishad. India is all about Shankaracharya. India is all about what Vivekanand tried to tell the world. He was the only one, and he was asking for 50 people like Aditya. 50 people like Aditya, who is devoting himself to. This is not about India. Try to understand, friends. It's not the Indian religion. It is not about Hindu religion. It is not about India's culture. It is about world. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah. Sarve santu niramaya. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Ma kaschit dukbhag bhave. Nobody should be deprived of these things. Happiness, health, everybody should get these things. This is India. So when we are talking about every global village, this was the Vasudev Kutumbakam. This is global village. This concept was long back in India. So you have to understand, if you want to go to the roots of the humanity, you have to understand India's scriptures. You have to understand the legacy of Sanatan Parampara or Sanatan Dharma.
Very, very well put up. And I really recall those words which you explained, what Vivekanand said. One of the next questions which people ask is, and also I've covered in my books, and I think you have also covered in the books, is the aspect of the Western imposition And I'm talking about only leftist academics, because there are a lot of academics who are very good as well, who are more in tune with India. Uh, Indian civilization has seen more Western authors who were practicing some other faith and trying to comment on India's legacy. So India's legacy comes from Mahabharata, Ramayana, but there are more Western authors writing on them than India, or rather, the Indian authors are not popular in North America, other than a few, like Maharshi, Mahesh Yogi, and other people. Other than that, very few people have gained acceptance. So the natural question is, why doesn't the Indian authors and the Indian intelligentsia like you try to claim our own legacy in the Western Hemisphere?
You have to understand, you are a writer and a very good author, I must say. So you understand the business aspect also. We have to understand that there are two things. One is, it's your thoughts, it's your mission, whatever you are trying to do, and another aspect is the business aspect, which is the far bigger aspect. Now you are writing, I am writing, I know so many people who are not getting publishers for their great work, and publishers are denying them. They might get a great success as far as readers are concerned. If your students, even in America, and most of them are Americans, they want to understand about Sanatan Parampara, Sanatan Dharma, or whatever you are telling them. I looked at your books and your work, and I can understand what kind of great work you are doing. So I can understand how these people are very much interested in knowing these things. But publisher community is entirely different community. I'm a person who has been writing books. I have written 8 books so far, and with some of the great publishers like Bloomsbury, Prabhat Prakashan, MP Publications, and other publishers in India. So these are some good publishers. But I must say, even while I am writing for them, I am saying this with full responsibility. So many good people are denied from writing just because they are not able to approach them, and these people are not that much interested in publishing the good work, or the work which could be a mission for humanity, which could be great. I mean, they are more concerned about fictions. They are more concerned about biographies of the people. These people know that they are not going for Charak. They are not going for Patanjali. They are not going for. I mean, as far as Chanakya is concerned, so his sayings are of, it is very much suitable for today's era. So that's why people are liking it. But we have so many such saints whom we can study, whom we can, we can go for a deeper research about these people, but we are not doing. I mean, as far as medical science is concerned, we have Charak Samhita, and many Samhitas are there. Ravan Samhita is there. Ravan was a great author, and he has done a great job. So now we are more concerned about the epic serial on DD National. We are not understanding what was Valmiki, what was the thought process of Valmiki, what he wanted to tell with this story, what is written between the lines, and who was Ved Vyas. Ved Vyas was not a single person; it was a designation. So many people designated for the same. So we have, a long way, and as I said, legacy of scriptures which should be understood and which should be published by the business people also. So as I said, there are two streams of writing. One, writers with good knowledge, and they should understand it first. They should write what is right. They should write what is right. Actually, they are just writing for the sake of writing. I just want to become a writer, so I am writing anything. You should understand it. You should at least read it. You should understand what your scriptures are really saying. These are great psychological books. Being a psychology student also, I always say the greatest book on psychology ever written is Patanjali Yoga.
Correct.
Ever read it? I mean, ask all of your students or the people who are working for Sanatan Parampara. I'm not saying any Tom, Dick, and Harry. I'm talking about the people who are working for Sanatan Dharma.
Right.
Are you studying these scriptures? So you'll get the answer, no. Okay, we know about it, but we don't go that deep into these things. This is the problem, dear friends. This is the problem. Take responsibilities on your shoulders, as Vivekananda said.
See, the American viewers and also the Americans, they're very authentic in one way. If they don't know, they admit it. And but the the American Hindus, which are coming from South Asia or India, even Pakistan and Bangladesh, many of them, they try to gain spiritual knowledge from Quora and Wikipedia and WhatsApp. So
These are the Vedvyas of these days,
and they don't understand that those forums are just forums for people are asking questions and anybody is answering there. So, and those are just the forums for debate, and they are not forums for getting real answers. But the non Hindus, but not from South Asia or Hindu background, those people are looking for a very detailed, honest replies. And I always tell people, I'm not realized, but I'm a book realized person. So
Mhm.
I can say what is written in the book by Ved Vyas or Valmiki, but I cannot say that I have myself realized it. It's a
Great.
derived realization. It's not
And
a
why? Mhm.
Yeah. It's not a realization where I have known that inside me, but I have faith in those people, and as long as I can represent them as transparent as I can, that is my service. That is a great service I can do.
Let me just put you have, I mean, you said a beautiful thing, Aditya. I really salute you because this is the thing. You have summarized it beautifully. What I was trying to say, you have summarized. I mean, now, if you go to Patanjali Yoga Sutra, you have Sadhan Pad, Samadhi Pad, Vibhuti Pad, and then Kaivalya Pad. I mean, I don't know how you'll make your student understand this thing, but better they should understand Patanjali. I mean, if one will go to this guide, it's a guide. It's a book which can lead you to Kaivalya. Kaivalya is the ultimate thing which one should achieve. What you are just talking about. The realization, the awakening. Awakening are all of us are sleeping or what? Yes, we are sleeping.
Sadhaka, we are all sadhaka.
So we have to be awakened, and awakening is not like just opening your eyes and wandering here and there and talking about so many big things or writing something and just trying to be famous or trying to achieve, some fame, money or something. This is not awakening. But this is the thing which all the youngsters are looking for. I'm not saying anything wrong with that, but you have to realize who you are.
Correct.
You have to realize why you are here.
That's right.
You have to understand the common point between all the creatures, not only between humans, not between Americans, Indians, or South Africans, or Chinese. It's about the life which is there in plants, which is there in small creatures. You have to understand that energy area, and this is our what Indian scripture is all about. This is what we can experience. This is what world really wants, and they will seek for it, and they will look to India whenever they'll be in trouble, when they must realize, they will be realizing the real need of these.
Now, very good points you said. And one of the things that I also hear from the community is, and over the years, and like you touched upon it in a very beautifully, that we we have been taught to stay away from political process. particularly taught by the conquerors, by the invaders, like you mentioned, they mentioned to Indian invaders. They want all the good people to stay away from politics. But if you look at Ramayana and Mahabharata, uh,
Mhm.
and they are all political histories,
Mhm.
and but for a good reason, to establish a rule of righteousness, which is dharma. And for that purpose, those were written to guide the humanity for rest of the times to come by having great examples of Ram and also Krishna. And so during the last few years, what do you think has gone missing that we are not making Indians in India as well as other places learn from those histories and use them in their lives to establish dharma?
Um, I'm slightly disagree on this point. Disagreement, like in a sense, in India, today's era is all about following Vivekananda's thoughts and Ramayana and Mahabharata. I don't know you are aware of it or not. Once after the lockdown, Ramayana and Mahabharata is there on
Yes,
television.
we
I
know.
am witnessing the same era and same ambience what I witnessed 30 years back when I was 10 or 12.
Correct.
I witnessed it. So it's there deep within every Indian, every true Indian. I'm not talking about those people who are living here and thinking of somewhere else,
Correct.
who are eating here and worshipping somebody else, or
Right.
worshipping some other land. It's not their motherland. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about those people who are real Indians. I'm talking about those people who really understand, who really feel. It's not about understanding, it's about feeling. I feel like being an Indian. Now, the major point, what I said, why I'm using the word disagree. Even if you are discussing about the politics, you have to look for the today's politics in India. Now the second term of Modi government. I am not a political person, I am not a political activist, frankly speaking. I am not standing with any political party. But as far as today's era is concerned, you have to understand this guy, Mr. Modi, is following the scriptures. He is taking his tips from Vivekananda's management school. There was a management school created by Vivekananda, and when I am talking to you, this there are some books which I always carry. You'll find it. This is my study room, and my temple is there. Small temple at my home is also there. So you'll find such books here and there, everywhere. So I always study. It's full of lectures. It's full of uh, many sayings which Vivekananda speak during his America visit. Not only Chicago, in California and many other places. He talked about open secret. When I say open secret, so people start asking me, if it's open, then how it could be secret? Then I say that I'm not saying this. This beautiful term is given by Swami Vivekananda. Open secret. Now, how beautiful it is. This is the simply. This was the title of one of his speeches. Open secret. What is open secret? He's talking about that secret which I'm saying yours because you are an American now. Your authors are selling by their science. Now, I don't know. I should quote it on it, but when I speak very frankly. I don't look for violations and other things. So I'll talk about this important issue, which will make you understand, which will answer your two questions. The previous one about the publication and the recent one, which is about what I mean the export one, the publication one, and the political one. There is a book which is very popular all over the world, Secret. Rhonda Byrne has written it. So this was copied from Wallace Wattles' book, The Science of getting rich. I think you must have listened to all
Yes.
this book. So he was a fantastic writer. And Rhonda Byrne and their associates accepted this thing later. And in the very first page of this book, which is written, the original book written by in I guess 1912 or somewhere, it got published in 1912 or 1910 or something. After the death of Wallace D. Waterloo, his daughter got it published. So this book on the very first page says, I am talking about Hindu scriptures. This is mentioned in Hindu scripture. So something started. He was a very real, honest man, and that's why he understood the open secret which I was talking about. This open secret was told by Vivekananda long ago. Long ago. What is the secret? जेहि के जेहि पर सत्य सनेहु तो तेहि मिली न कछु संदेह. Now let me make it understand to your students. If you are desiring something with full passion, you will get it. This is your people, your authors are selling it with law of attraction, this attraction, that attraction. It is long back said by Tulsidas also.
Right.
This chaupai is from Ramcharitmanas. Jehi ke jehi par satya sane ho. I
That's
mean, Sita is looking at Ram and thinking whether I am going to get him or not. Then Tulsidas is writing there that God is saying that "Jehi ke jehi," if you have passion for something, full passion to achieve something, you are definitely going to get it. So, I mean, with this small example, I am just trying to tell you that everything has been written here. People are now, reviving it, trying to write it by their own names with, more fancy things. But the basic is missing. And even people are liking it. Why? Why people are liking it? They are wanting it badly. They are wanting it. This is
so
my
the,
point.
the world, especially USA, is waiting for Indian authors to present the original thoughts. And most of the Western authors have plagiarized Indian talks and claimed it as theirs. Like
Yeah.
the spirituality is not there in any other literature other than Bhagavad Gita or any of the Vedic literature. There is no other place spirituality is there, because the word soul is emphasized only in Bhagavad Gita and especially in Vedic literatures. So that is given the fact, but there is a time now where the Indian authors have to claim that legacy. Like for example, I can tell you that Stanford, Harvard, these are some big. They have big Hindu studies department, including Oxford, and most of them are led by Christian pastors. So people who do not follow their own tradition. So they are actually creating more Macaulays and Max Mullers. Again, there is an attack on the Indian Vedic cultural civilization. But if you look at the Dharma population, the people who are connected to Dharma, which is the Hindus, Buddhists, Sikhs, Jains, and other communities connected to Dharma, they still make up the world's largest spiritual population together, almost 5 billion people. So if you look at the Dharma world today, it's also still the biggest one.
Yes.
So, so now coming back to, and we will have plenty of sessions because you're an ocean of knowledge.
We were about to discuss about the great Indian conspiracy. I must tell your viewers that is about myth. I mean, this is Sattology, but the myth about Hindu terrorism, because people here in India tried to make the biggest conspiracy of Indian history, which was this term Hindu terrorism or separate Hindu. I'm not saying Hindu can't be a criminal, but I am saying that Hindu can't be a terrorist. This we have to understand, and as you said, we will have many sessions there. But this is an important point which we are right now discussing, and far bigger than discussing about my book or an issue which is of far more importance. But this is not in talk right now because Congress is not here right now. But Congress would have been here, then Hindu terrorism would be, they must be, giving plenty of khat pani. I mean, they must be, rearing it up like anything. But as far as this our ancient history is concerned, I have recently visited to Uttar Pradesh for election coverage, the last election coverage, and I saw Koshambi. You must you were talking about the
Yes,
old time.
yes,
I saw mm, I saw a complete city which was there, a well-maintained city which a square was there, good construction was there, a well-planned city was there, and it's you can go there and you can understand that something like this was there. So this was India long before, when Mughal came here and they destroyed everything, and then British who ruled us for their own sake.
actually, there is a temple of Kunti, mother of
Hmm.
Pandavas,
Yes.
in the middle of old fort in New Delhi. And we at Sattology, we want to preserve that temple. That's the original temple of Kunti Maharani, and the Krishna deity over there is 5,000 years old, more than that.
Oh. Hmm.
So it was till the time of Krishna who appeared. And most of the Western viewers, if you do not understand, the Congress that Dr. Tiwari was referring to is a Congress party in India, like just like Democrat and Republicans. It's not the US, not like the US Congress. So that's just a. So now my last question, and probably
Okay.
that will be on the topic which we wanted to discuss in the first place.
Mhm.
And so a lot of victimization and propaganda goes on in US also, because wherever people are politically correct, they are taken advantage of.
Mhm.
And India, being a land of dharma, is expected to be least politically correct, because dharma's another meaning of dharma is truth and justice. So India was called a golden bird, not because it had gold or spices. India was called the golden bird because it stood for truth and justice. So the people, Parsis are Zoroastrians, Parsis and other communities, they came to India because they had faith in the Indian judicial system. And wherever the country's judicial system is strong, that's where business comes. And that's one of the reasons US is number one economy today, because the US justice system acts. If there is a violation, there will be penalties, whether it's a financial, criminal, or civil, either of them. So coming back to your book, and you correctly mentioned that Hindus, because we should not be defensive now, because everyone knows Hindu culture means peace, love, and harmony. So we do not have to defend that, especially in Americans, because India has the highest rating of any country in the planet in USA. The soft power of yoga, vegetarianism, the spirituality coming from India is very deeply respected by all Americans. So, what made you write that book, the last book you wrote? Because you, based on my brief conversation with you, I can see that you're a spiritual powerhouse. So, what made you write that book?
Okay. This color, this is my favorite bottle. This is the saffron color. You must say, even the mask I am wearing during this Corona pandemic is of the same color. This is the color which make me feel proud. This is the color which I understand about India. This is the color which is there on my Ganesha. This is the color which is on my Hanuman. I am worshipping when from the beginning of my life, all my life I worship God with the same color. And when people said that it's a color of terrorism, I was, I was very angry. But this was not my religion. To show your anger with, blasting somewhere by killing people, by going out there and threatening people. My dharma, my religion told me that speak about the truth, speak about your reality, speak about your roots, speak about those great people who made this color proud. So I did the same. Now, research is very important. I wanted it very authentic. Nobody can challenge it. Seven advocates, seven law people who understand law like anything was appointed by publisher, and they scrutinized, they checked each and every fact of my book, which proves that coining this term saffron terrorism was a great and heinous conspiracy made by UPA government and Congress government. How Aditya make you understand the meaning of Congress, which is a political party here now in opposition. So how they coined this term saffron terrorism, and it made me, deeply saddened. I wanted to answer somehow, and I answered it with my book. I request all my friends who wants to understand this topic in deep, you should go through my book. If you get it, I guess Bloomsbury is the publisher, and they will, I guess,
It's
keep it close.
available. It's available on
Yes.
Amazon, and the book
Okay.
title is "The Great Indian Conspiracy" by Praveen Tiwari. Praveen Tiwari. Praveen Tiwari. Please do buy that book on Amazon and learn more. And Dr. Tiwari is himself speaking right now. So, what is the message? There is one thing which uh, it. So there is a Vatican exporting their ideology, and America exporting democracy. Everyone is exporting some core ideology.
Okay.
China exporting communism,
And
and
Corona also.
and everyone is exporting something. When will there a time will come where India will start exporting dharma
India
as
is
an official
exporting.
as an
India is
official state policy, not as a private individual?
Okay. Jokes apart, India is exporting hydroxychloroquine, which
That's
is
right.
the key medicine these days. America asked for it, and India allowed for all other countries, and we are having massive production here. So India is always ready for export. Now to understand it, we need more recipients. People should be recipient of knowing the great knowledge, the real secret, not the copied or plagiarized knowledge, the real knowledge which is lying within the scriptures. I am trying my best. I want more people like Aditya. I salute him. Now this is his show, but I am saluting him. He is the guy who is really inspiring me, who is really giving me a hope that now he's constantly, you must be understanding, he's constantly asking me what India can export because he wants, he understand India. I don't know, you know about his life or not. He struggled like anything. He is standing on a very strong base. He lived life like anything. He understood life and the humanity with his own life. His own life is a book. And this is my first meeting with Aditya. I got to know about him, and I'm pretty impressed with him. We need more and more people like Aditya to export such great and vast knowledge from India to other countries to save the humanity. Nobody is exporting anything except goods, which is good for nothing. Why? You are not asking for cars. You're not asking for big homes. You're not asking for some lamps or some furniture at home. You're asking for food. You're asking for good thoughts. You want to go to people who can make you come out from depression.
Correct.
This is the real need. Now people are understanding this in the period of lockdown. So this is something which India can give you easily, but you should be a great recipient, and the medium would be people like Aditya, and I would definitely help him out whenever I'm required.
Thank you, Dr. Praveen Tiwari, for your kind words and everything. And during my travel, last time I went to India 6 months back, I was supposed to be in India in May. We were organizing a large Sattology conference, and unfortunately, because of the pandemic, it got cancelled. I really value your thoughts and would like to welcome you again. And people who are watching this video, we need to make some simple resolutions that the priorities in life are different than just working for short-term goals. We got to have long-term goals. So with that, we'll end the session today. And I would love to all of us to thank Dr. Tiwari for coming and sharing his wonderful
Thank you.
views and ideas and the passion that he carries. And I love that color of the saffron bottle. I might steal from you.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Namaskar and thank you.
Namaskar. Namaskar.